All right, so I'm just scrubbing this with a Scotch Brite and soapy water first to get the Amine blush off. Since the epoxy was exposed to air, it'll have a little waxiness on the surface called Amine blush. Scrub it with soapy water to get rid of that, so I'm not sanding it into the epoxy. All right, so we're back. I'm pretty busy right now with Stokesbury this weekend, so I want to get this done. Just gonna clean off from the scuffing here. And we're gonna start sanding this dry first with some 320 on a block, especially on the back. I'm trying to get the back to be super flat, so it sits on the gunnel nicely. And I'm doing it dry because I'll be able to see when I'm kind of done, when it's flat and there's no more clear spots left. And then we'll move on to wet sanding it with 600 grit. Just a real little bit on the front here, so flatten it out some. A little difficult with the curve. Get this super nice. On the back, looks pretty good. So I'm going to take some of the tape off. Take the tape off right here so I can sand. Actually, I should sand the edge first with the tape on. Get that edge sanded all the way down to the tape. I'll take the tape off. Which is probably gonna be a bit of a fight. Usually is. The frayed edge. I'll just take it all off from the bottom. Make it easier. So that sticker's on the top here. I might have to take it off. I'll see if I can save it though. I'm gonna bring it in here in case I have to remake this or something. Let's see if it comes off nice. Okay, I might be able to reuse that. Just stuck it on a piece of wax paper. All right. And now I can sand. I'm not worried about that sticker anymore. I'm gonna work around stickers is annoying. All right, this is some 400 grit just to refine it a little bit more. This is looking pretty good. We're going to do a little wet sand with 600 grit now. Needs a little bit more refining. I gotta hit that spot on the lip first. All right, so we'll go in a little bit and see what this looks like so far. It's coming out pretty nice. Again, some of this didn't get all the way filled in, but I could epoxy it again or get a clear filler, but we're trying to get this finished today for them. All right, so I'll go grab my 600. And my pump sprayer just broke, so a little water bottle it is. Looking good. So I'm going to do the holes now. Normally, if you drill through carbon fiber, you want to put something behind. I would want to clamp a piece of wood back here and then drill through the front. You'll see the front, I filled them with clay, so the vacuum wasn't fighting to try and get in there. So normally what you would do is clamp a piece of wood, drill from that side so it doesn't blow the fibers out. But if I know where the hole is, which I can kind of see where they are, I just have this cone bit for a Dremel, and you can go from this side and it leaves a very nice clean edge where you do this. Go. Nice clean hole. We'll do the other one, which isn't showing as much, but there we go. Easy. So now I'm gonna get this ready and in the paint booth and get it clear coated. All right, we're back. We're in the paint booth now and we're about ready to spray this. But I wanted to take you in here and show you what's going on. So the top of these bushings I masked off, and the masking actually goes around the side of the bushings. And how I do that is put the piece of tape right over the top, slowly work it around the edge with your fingernails, and then you take a nice sharp knife and just cut around in the corner. So that'll create a nice transition there. I don't know, maybe you've seen these on other boats and some people just paint right over them and say whatever, but not here. We do things the correct way. So here's the back. And we've got one more thing to do before we clear this. And that's the back masking up in here. So that's done with just a piece of paper folded back on itself. Let's try not to stop the recording here. All right. So just a short piece of paper, fold it back on itself. Wrap it around so that there is a tiny bit of clear space still showing. Got my clear in the gun, DB1, and I'm going to turn my fluid nozzle in a little bit extra for this because it's so small. I don't want to get any drips on this. so the first coat is done. We're gonna give this about 10 minutes. And we'll do a second coat. But it's looking pretty nice. And this will end up being less than half the cost of a new rigger, and they'll be able to still use their boat. All right, it's been about 10 minutes, so we're gonna do the second coat here, and I like putting a gun light on the gun for the second coat so I can see what is happening. But after this second coat, we're gonna take that second spray gun. It has blender in it. There's the clear coat gun. So I'm gonna take the blender, take the paper off, and shoot the clear, or shoot the blender to try and blend the existing clear into the new clear into the existing clear.
Let's see. Let me take the mask off.
All right. So up in here, you can barely tell where the transition is now from that blender. Be able to just buff it a little bit. It should look pretty good. And here's the top. So this came out pretty nice. Should definitely be strong enough and usable. So all I'm gonna do to finish this is buff and polish in this blend area, And then I'm actually gonna buff the whole rigger just so it looks nice, because why not? And then around the whole rigger, it gets this yellow pinstripe. So I'm gonna replace that whole pinstripe as well. So this rigger will go back looking super clean and fresh and ready to use.